Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Stuart and Mimi Rose Opportunity Zone, better known as Oz, as we call it. This is our new building. We just moved in October, so we're still working out the kinks. But we did want to welcome you. They asked if we could host this press conference and meeting, and we were happy to do so. We won't, just so everybody knows, we won't be doing a tour today. We will be having an open house if you're interested, June 5th. At 3 o'clock, and we'll be doing full tours. But if anybody has a dog, the store is open for treats, so feel free on your way out to purchase some goodies for your four-legged child. This is just so that you know, Opportunity Zone is our new education and employment center. And in this building currently right now, our main partnership is with Youth Build, which is under County Corp, and it's been a wonderful partnership. They actually have built their construction lab is in the lower level, and then we also have classrooms for them, and our staffs are actually intermingling and having joint staff meetings, and we're working out how do we really work together seamlessly. And are there duplication of services that we can get rid of and other things that we can add to fill gaps? So it's really been a fun ride. So again, welcome to Oz. We hope you enjoy it. And I am going to turn it over to Mayor Patterson.
Thank you, Linda. What a great facility. This is the first time I've been in there, and I might just take you up in your offer and come back and take a look at it. So. Great. As Linda said, my name is Don Patterson, and I'm proud to serve as mayor of the City of Kettering. The City of Kettering has participated in CDBG for 43 years, since 1974. Without these programs, many of our residents may never become homeowners. They might have had to abandon their home due to lack of heat or plumbing. These homes may never have received needed repairs or smoke detectors. On behalf of my fellow members of City Council, and most importantly, on behalf of our Kettering residents, I encourage support for the Community Development Block Grant CDBG program and the Home Investment Partnership Home programs. I oppose any attempts to eliminate the programs or reduce their funding. CDBG and Home are highly successful, locally driven programs that provide flexible resources, allowing communities to address their most pressing community development and affordable housing needs. These programs invest in low and moderate income people and stabilize neighborhoods. They provide safe, decent, and affordable housing. They fund critical infrastructure improvements. They provide job, education, health, and family supports. They are important resources for our community. The return on community development block grant funds invested is remarkable. For every one CDBG dollar invested in Kettering, we yield $4 more of local investment. These funds leverage $2 million FEMA funds and an additional $4 million from our rehab loan program, for example. Every year, our senior service coordinator provides services to more than 1,000 elderly adults in Kettering. We use CDBG to put lights in low-income Kettering neighborhoods, reduce crime, and increase residents' sense of safety. We removed blighted structures, which raised maintenance standards and stabilized property values. We provided business loans to 22 small businesses, allowing them to offer employment opportunities to more than 50 low-income residents. CDBG and home funding are critical for Kettering. We need this funding to continue to help our seniors and stabilize our neighborhoods so that they can change lives for the better. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mayor Kirkpatrick from City of Fairborn. Or Rob Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. That's okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to pitch hit for Mayor Kirkpatrick, so I apologize. My speech will not be nearly as eloquent as his would have been. But I first would like to introduce Missy Frost, our neighborhood betterment manager, the lady who does our CDBG program and does an outstanding job at it. So I need to give her all the credit. I will just be the pretty face this morning. On behalf of Mayor Kirkpatrick and our City Council, we utilize our CDBG program in many different ways. I am a planner by trade and actually cut my teeth at the City of Kettering, so I am familiar with CDBG throughout my career and understand how strong of a neighborhood stabilization tool it is for Fairborn and many communities around the country. We utilize it for things like neighborhood rehabs. We use it to tear down blighted properties. We have a pretty creative tool lending shed where we allow people to come and borrow tools to maintain their properties. So we understand how critical this funding is. And on behalf of our mayor, our city council, and the 33,000 residents of Fairborn, we urge the legislature to continue the CDBG program as a critical piece of our neighborhood strategy. So I will turn it over to Montgomery County Commissioner Dan Foley. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Morning. I think the reason that all of us are here together, and you've heard it through from Mayor Patterson and also from Rob, and you'll hear it from a couple other folks, is that we really can't do what we do without this money. I mean, whether it's the City of Kettering, Montgomery County, City of Dayton, or the City of Fairborn, this really is kind of the glue that helps some projects happen. And so I stand with my colleagues today saying we're grateful for this funding, which includes both CDBG money and also home investment partnership money. As you've heard, both are at risk of elimination. And we've also experienced some pretty severe cuts with this money over the past years. And so our message today is we just want to reiterate as loudly and as strongly as we can just how devastating the loss of these funds would be. And I just want to give you an example about how the Montgomery County government uses this money. We use it to improve housing conditions through emergency repairs and new construction. We recently helped Miami Valley Housing Opportunities rehabilitate 14 units of permanent supportive housing for individuals who have mental illness diagnoses and mental illness issues in Trotwood and in Harrison Township. We've used it to renovate affordable housing units, and we've also used it directly connected to job growth and job creation. Last year we started a microenterprise program to really try to invest in startup companies, some real small companies. We've always been pretty good at, with our EDGE program at large-scale job programs like when we try to invest with Caterpillar when they're putting that project up in Clayton, the GE Research and Development project near the fairgrounds. But last year we used CDBG money to start a microenterprise program. And that's really getting a lot of good attention, a lot of good interest by companies who maybe need a little bit of help with a piece of equipment to get to the next level. We've also used that money to support the Miami Valley Fair Housing Center in their efforts to eliminate housing discrimination. And HUD funding is an important catalyst that we've used to leverage other public and private dollars to make meaningful improvements in our communities. So the bottom line here, and you're going to hear this a little bit more, is that we need this money. It's relevant. It helps other projects happen. And so we're asking members of Congress to really help us weigh in and keep this going. And Aaron Sorrell is coming up next from the City of Dayton. And Linda, Aaron has, because the Lindy's dog biscuit, Aaron has an Alaskan Malamute, which is like this big. I mean, it's like literally. And like if he brought his,
Lots of trees.
yeah, I mean, I think you need to follow up here. Yeah, all right, good.
Good morning. As Commissioner Foley said, I'm Aaron Sorrell. I'm the Director of the Department of Planning and Community Development. On behalf of Mayor Whaley and the Dayton City Commission, I also, as the other speaker said, want to urge our congressional delegation to preserve our entitlement grant programs. This talk is really about partnerships, and CDBG leverages a tremendous number of partnerships that really touch almost every Daytonian, from either street repaving to our supportive services that we help support, like Daybreak or the homeless shelters, to our friends in the home improvement industry. Last year, in 2016, we received almost $7 million in entitlement funds, which leveraged another $23.5 million of public and private dollars. We helped assist 350 homeless individuals, 23 home buyers, and assisted over 130 homeowner rehabs and low-income individuals to maintain and improve their home. We can't do that kind of work and make those kind of improvements without this funding. Since 2010, we've seen a 25% reduction in our entitlements, and we really are at a critical funding point and cannot go any lower. Our entitlement grants are really the key to the redevelopment opportunities and maintaining that momentum that we've seen over the past 10 years. And again, I just want to urge everybody, our congressional delegations, the administration, to preserve these funds because they are vitally important to every Daytonian. So with that, I would like to invite Linda Kramer back to the podium. Thank you. I'll go buy some dog biscuits.
We may be coming out with salmon this summer. Those are the top seller, peanut butter and bacon. I mean, who doesn't like peanut butter and bacon, really? But again, welcome. And while this is our education and employment center, which obviously it focuses on education and employment, including our social enterprise, Lindy's Bakery, Daybreak has been serving homeless youth and disconnected youth in our community since 1975. And currently, we serve over 500 homeless and disconnected youth every year from the Miami Valley. We're the only ones in the region doing this work. Our other sister agencies, the closest ones, are there's one in Cincinnati and there's one in Columbus. So we're really the regional center for this really difficult population and needy, they're not just little adults. We're talking about teenagers up through the age of, or young adults up through the age of 24. And I always like to say, there was one time Brother Ray from UD asked me, well, why does it take so long? And why do you do all this stuff for them? And I looked at Brother Ray and I said, Brother Ray, you run one of the best transitional housing programs for youth in our community. People compete to get in, they pay $40,000, $50,000 a year, they get housing, they get education, they get positive social supports, they get security. And you know what, after 4 years, they still go back home. What part of adolescence, aren't we getting here? But it's pretty incredible when you do see a young person who comes in who has absolutely nothing but the backpack on their back, sometimes not even that, and have no family supports, limited education, if in fact 80% of our 18-year-olds and up don't even have a high school diploma. But to watch them flourish and to watch them really develop, I mean, it does work. Not for all, we don't save all of them, but it really does work. And one of our programs, our housing program, we have a total of 54 apartments for our transitional housing program for our older youth. And 30 of those are out in the community. And for those 30 apartments, we use home dollars for rental subsidies to help our kids stabilize, learn how to maintain an apartment, learn how to keep the apartment, learn how to be a good neighbor. And without those home dollars and those rental subsidies, we wouldn't be able to serve the numbers of kids that we do in the way that we do. So these dollars are really critical to our most vulnerable young people in the community, and the investment is well worth the time and the money that it goes to put in, because I always look at it, I want somebody to pay my Social Security. So I want them working, I want them good neighbors, I want them paying taxes, and I want them to develop into really healthy, strong adults in our community, because they really are our future. And without the home dollars, we wouldn't be able to provide the housing that we do. So, Steve Nuss from County Corp.
Thank you, Linda. I'm Steve Nuss, president of County Corp, and we really appreciate the opportunity to give a piece of where we are involved with HUD funding, CDBG, Home Investment Partnership. They're integral to what we do in the community. We've worked with the City of Dayton, Montgomery County for years, the City of Kettering, and even other communities working to address blight within the communities. We're helping residents and small businesses turn their situation around, if you will. Residents, for example, we've helped approximately 500 families a year for the last 5 years on foreclosure, families that are at risk of foreclosure. Some are already in the situation, some are in need of mediation assistance, some are just lost. Without the funding that's been made available from HUD, through the CDBG and the NFMC, that was one of the programs we accessed to help. And we were just one of the organizations, there were others. The Homeownership Center of Greater Dayton, which now we are actually partnered with to become better for the community. Small businesses have benefited from CDBG funding. These businesses are making an investment in their community which results in hiring employees. These employees are residents, there are neighbors, there are folks who live, work, and play within the communities that we call home. Without the funding made available from HUD for these small businesses, our communities would suffer. A recent program that we've partnered with and brought and become an involved partner on is Youth Build, and Linda mentioned it very briefly. It's very active within this facility. 40 young people who, without this program, would be likely in the criminal justice system. Not maybe all of them, but they're right on the cusp, are able to go through a program that helps them achieve their education and an industry certification. We have people like Dr. Jerry Farley and Sarah Grimm from our office and many other people, Coach, Guy, Melody, you name it. There are many adults that are a part of, and in addition, the Daybreak staff that are involved. We could not do this without all these folks coming together. And the individuals that make their way through this program become productive members of the community that we all need them to be. Funding from HUD makes a difference here in our community. And without it, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And I believe there's no one else after me immediately. There is a video. And so transitioning right over to Tawana, who will start us off.
Small business is the backbone of the Dayton region. The Montgomery County Micro Enterprise Grant Program proves that small investments can make a big difference in the success of small businesses. With grants ranging from $2,500 to $25,000 and an emphasis on socially and economically disadvantaged companies, these funds deliver working capital that help businesses grow.
We're about driving marketing and moving people. So our goal is to educate clients, build brand awareness, drive marketing and sales for our clients. We looked for about 5 months and we found this space. It was completely gutted. It needed a lot of work, but we saw the vision that it could be what we wanted it to be for our company, our staff, and our brand. So we were able to accomplish all that with the funding we received. The grant allowed us to complete the vision we had for this space because we were short on funding, and it allowed us the capability to completely finish the space in the 3 months plan to be able to focus on our business now.
JP Machine and Tool is not only a woman-owned business, but it's a first-generation family-operated business. We are a CNC machining company. I heard about the Micro Enterprise Grant through a meeting through Women in Business Networking, and it's been it was a great opportunity to open my eyes to that there were grants available out there to small businesses, minority and women-owned businesses. Well, our vision is, of course, to add to the community. We hope to grow the business so that we can have an impact on its economic growth, providing jobs for other people to be a part of this company.
We are so excited to be here at the Northwest Branch Library. We were the very first vendor to participate in the Montgomery County Library systems. And we were able to do this partially for all of the assistance that we received by Montgomery County and the Micro Enterprise Grant. Being able to have assistance from the county really helped us be able to be in the space and to be able to serve the Northwest community. It gave me a lot of joy to have such a beautiful library facility and also to be able to be here as a business person.
The Montgomery County Micro Enterprise Grant Program.
Dear elected officials, my name is Holly Jenkins.
Dino Brandon.
Jean Berry.
Janet Lawson.
Betty Mahorny.
Darlene Mail.
Our names are Amanda Rockensteyer and Christina Long, and we are sisters who are residents of Kettering, Ohio.
I live in a great neighborhood and in a great community.
And I'm so proud and pleased that my community has
been able to assist me with Community Development Block Grant
and Home Investment Partnership funds.
I believe in using our tax dollars to assist residents and businesses
and keep our community strong and viable.
In my case, the City of Kettering assisted me with down payment and closing costs through Home to purchase my house. Later, I used CDBG to rehab my home and complete some essential and energy-efficient repairs.
Assisted me in a comprehensive update of my home as well as an emergency repair.
In my case, the City of Kettering assisted me with electrical updates, furnace and air conditioner replacement, smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, and a new roof.
Comprehensive update of my home, as well as an emergency repair.
The City of Kettering used home funds to assist me with the purchase of my home. Currently, we are working on a rehab project to assist me with some needed improvements.
The City of Kettering used home funds to assist me with the purchase of my home. Without their assistance, I would not have been able to buy my home.
In my case, the City of Kettering assisted my family by installing new windows, furnace, and water heater. And in my case, the City of Kettering assisted my family with a new air conditioner, windows, and a door.
My hope is that Congress will continue to realize the value of these programs
so that Americans can continue to support one another
and having strong communities,
businesses, and neighborhoods.
My story is one of support and empowerment.
I have been there for my community.
And our community was there for us when we needed them. We are
telling my story to build up the awareness of
the benefit of CDBG and
home funds in Kettering, Ohio, and to
celebrate Community Development Week 2017.
Thank you.